I call the member for Patterson.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. It beggars belief that Australia's energy future is so close to the cliff that here in this chamber today, the two main planks of this government's solution, the 2 pages, excuse the pun, member for Page, out of the history book could well be out of 1950. We are arguing against the continuation of a 45-year-old power station as opposed to something that some very ingenious people came up with in the Snowy Mountains over 55 years ago. Is that all you've got? We are on the precipice of a true energy crisis in this country, and you mob, you entitled pack of geniuses, can come up with nothing. You fail to innovate, but more importantly, you cannot legislate. You are not only ineligible in some cases, but you are totally ineffectual, and herein lies the rub. That is the problem. In my electorate, there are important Australian industries operating, very important, and for them to continue to thrive and survive, they need reliable and continuous energy. In the seats of my neighbouring colleagues, the member for Hunter, excuse me, and also the member for Shortland, there are important electricity generators, but they are ageing. And the lack of forward planning by this government, we have learnt that it may necessitate the continuation of Liddell, a coal-fired power station. Now, in some sort of fantasy universe, these guys think that that's a long-term solution. I'm personally actually not against the continuation of Liddell, but I know it's not a reality. I know that it is not what we should be putting forward for the people of our regions and Australia. In this final desperate measure being grasped at by this government, you have failed to plan. You have failed. You know who you've failed? You've failed the decent people of Australia who get their electricity bills and think, how am I going to pay this? And you've failed the people who go to work every day, the people who farm, who need electricity to pump water, the people who are trying to make things. That is who you have failed. And now we've got no option but to go back to the future, to prevent us all from being in the dark, literally. Never forget that energy is the oxygen of our economy and our communities. It's health, it's transport, it's the lifeblood of industry. And it's incredibly frustrating that I cannot tell the CEO, Matt Howell, of Tomago Aluminium what the country's long-term energy solution is. In fact, I've got a sneaking suspicion that Matt's been trying to tell the Prime Minister a few little tips on how to keep the country humming, but he's a bit slow on the uptake. Tomago uses 11% of New South Wales electricity. That's the equivalent of 1 million households, and basically it had to be used as a backup generator last summer. The 11th of February they went, just switch it off for a minute, Matt, while we keep the air conditioners going. Okay? James. Totally unacceptable. If it loses electricity for more than a few hours, it could be shut down, and that will cause a great deal of pain across our manufacturing sector. There are thousands of employees, directly and indirectly, that really rely on it. How is our nation in a situation that we cannot generate enough electricity to maintain essential industry? Because there is no national policy. And don't stand over here and bang on to us about pink bats. What have you been doing for 4 years? You've been doing 7/8 of stuff all. I cannot believe that in the year 2017 the best option that you can come up with is reinvigorating a 60-year-old hydro scheme. Where is the innovation? Where's the forward-thinking? Where is the future-proofing? Globally, there is a 21st century investment jobs around the globe, and we are currently coming last because you are so caught up in looking at the rear-view mirror, so caught up in your conservative ways that you can't bear to think ahead. You can't bear to do some planning and some legislating for the people of Australia. We've lost 1 in 3 renewable jobs in Australia, while globally, now hang on a minute, globally they're up 45%. Jobs in renewables are up 45% across the globe, and yet we have lost 1/3. It's a shameful indictment and indicator of the road that you have led us down. Meanwhile, our power prices go up and people are lashing out. And let me tell you, they will sharpen their pencils at the ballot box next time. So gird your way down.